Welcome to my channel to everyone who's new here, and of course to those of you who are back again. Great to have you here. In this video we are going to talk about Render, TAO, Kaspa and ONDO. Things remain exciting, so make sure to watch until the end. So let's just start with Render. What did we say about Render? We have said head and shoulders formatation, broke to the downside right here, got its retest. Yeah, it looks a bit messy, but we are going to clean up the chart in a few seconds. So the first target was the length of one shoulder. We put that to the breakout point. Target was the $4.05. So we went there. The other target was the length of the head. We put it to the breakout point and we worked that target off. You can see it right here. With this push, we went into our target, $3.90. I have also talked yesterday about not losing the $3.90, but it is totally fine if we get short-termed lower than $3.90. And that's what I'm talking about. A sustainable breakout would mean that here, for example, we have the candle close lower than $3.90, but I'm not even sure if my support is perfectly June. What do I want to say? Well, the support can also be this one right here, or a bit lower, who knows. That's why I wait a bit longer. I'm not just jumping into the trade just because I see a candle close lower than a certain key level. So what I want to see is to be in that scenario bearish. A few candles, like a nice push to the downside, afterwards a retest, and if I get the retest, then I have the confirmation that my old support level got broke to the downside and got retested, which is then afterwards resistance. Here it was support. Then we fall to the support, we break the support to the downside. Now the old support is resistance. And we get rejected and a follow through. That would mean sustainable. I have also said that we can wick lower than $3.90 on the short term as long as we got bought up. And we got bought up. I also have showed you the white trend line, which was very speculative. I have also told you that. It also broke to the upside right here. So far, it looks okay to me, but not good. What I want to see is, because this looks for me like an inverted head and shoulders formatation. I want to see the $4.23 breaking to the upside, then I would be long for Render. Yesterday we have said we will take a long position once $4.32 breaks to the upside, because that was our X short line, trend line. Even though if we don't short it, it doesn't matter. It's still an X short trend line because we broke it to the downside, retested it, and the target was right here. So this is our old short trend line. Now the thing is, we have developed a chart pattern on the 50 minutes chart, an inverted head and shoulders formatation, which has the chance breaking to the upside, but we need to break to the upside. $4.23. If we don't break it to the upside, then the chart pattern didn't get activated. So basically we can still sell off. So if the $4.23 breaks to the upside, then I'm kind of confident that we are going to see the upper part of the bull flag, which is the area between $4.45 to $4.55. Don't worry, I will also give you here the price tags again, like this. And yeah, this bull flag got actually invalidated in my opinion. So I actually have to take a new one. I have to find one. I didn't find one yet. But this upper part of the bull flag is also, if we take the circle to the left side, it's also in resistance area. That's why it should still work in my opinion. So we still have to wait. And I'm still looking for new chart patterns and will keep you informed tomorrow. So what about TAO? TAO didn't work that well. I have also taken a short trade for TAO yesterday because I have seen the rising wedge breaking to the downside. which also had several touch points. I counted 4 or even 5 touch points to the downside and a few ones on the upside. So this was a valid chart pattern. I closed my position in losses. So basically, that's why what I've drawn here. This was the breakout. Here we got, in my opinion, the retest. I just went into the trade because I saw all the other cryptos selling off, and I was like, okay, TAO is also going to sell off. Instead, I put my stop loss order over the tops here, and here it got hit. So this was very unlucky, but even though in this push to the downside, I think I wouldn't have sold it anyway. So yeah, doesn't matter. A loss is a loss, and we take it. So the overall structure which we have here doesn't look good. It looks corrective to me. I just have to symbolize you. I've put a bright blue rising wedge on the chart just to symbolize you that this looks like an corrective movement to the upside. So if we break it to the downside, we can still sell off, and the target would be the lows here. If that is going to happen, and if we are going to get a lower low, for example here, than this one, then the chance is even there that we sell off in that area right here. So just because I got a stop loss hit doesn't mean that we still can't sell off there. We didn't invalidate the pattern as well. I was just like let's say I was too confident that we are going to sell off, that I just put my stop loss here, a tight one, instead of taking a bigger stop loss. So this was totally my mistake. I hope that you have done it better. In the end of the day, I will give you the price mark, $427.50. If they break to the downside, the chance is high that we are going to meet the low again. If we break it to the downside, the low, if we break the low also to the downside, $360 to $330 are going to get very interesting. What is also interesting is about TAO. I wasn't sure if I have talked about the inverted head and shoulders formatation, which we would break to the upside at $496. I was thinking maybe we don't have one, because I can't count this whole move as a left shoulder, this as a head, and this as a small right shoulder. It doesn't fit to me. Usually the shoulders are near to each other, like they are pretty similar in the length. But if I don't count this wick, so let's just imagine this is gone, then the chart pattern is going to work. Head and shoulders formatation. So the left shoulder has here the same length as the right shoulder. So if that is going to happen, if we break the $496 to the upside, there we have said this is a very important resistance, breaking to the upside to be very bullish, and we also have still the target ongoing from the falling wedge in orange, which you can see right here. The target is still ongoing, $745 for TAO. But once the $496 breaks to the upside, then I take from the inverted head and shoulders formatation the spread of the length of the whole head. Why that? Because usually we take the length of one shoulder, but I will also put it on the chart. Let's just take this one here. I'm still kind of confident that we are pretty bullish. And if that is the case, then we are going to work off the whole head. And also the target of the shoulder is going to be in resistance, $680. So $680 is our take profit anyway once we break the $496 to the upside. If we get over $680, everything over it is going to be take profit. Up to $829. So around about $830 for TAO. So it's going to be very interesting what is going to happen. I can still imagine, like I have drew you here, that we are going to sell off into the 360 to 330 US dollar before we getting the strength to break it to the upside. So basically you can also see it here. We have a low, then we got the push, and yes, we got a pullback. And this pullback is far more bigger than the pullback which we would get if we drop even to $330. But what do we see here is a higher low. And if we see here another higher low, then I think we have good chances breaking to the upside. So what about Kaspa? So we have said about Kaspa that we might change our bull flag once we break it to the downside. And I will stick to it. I like this bull flag, to be honest. It had good touch points, but we broke it to the downside. We invalidated it, so we can take this one out. We have also said if we lose the bull flag, then we should drop to 9.3 cents up to there. We went there pretty near. So what now? I think we had some entries, for example, at 11.2 cents, because the bull flag would have got broken out there. Let's just steal this price tag and move it lower. So I have found a nice trend line, which is resistance, 10.67 cents. If that breaks to the upside, then I would say we can get into the top area right here. Here's the price mark, 11.6 cents. And if we also break it to the upside, 12.2 cents is going to be my next target. But to be super bullish for Kaspa, we have to see the 13.2 cents breaking to the upside. Then this triple bottom pattern or double bottom pattern, doesn't matter, both are the same in their target, is going to get activated. And the overall target, in my opinion, should be the 20.3 cents unless we see other chart patterns directing us into higher prices. So Kaspa also, we have to wait a bit longer. So far everything worked good, beside the bull flag, which got invalidated, but now we have an entry far earlier than the bull flag. So basically it's even a win-win situation for us. So we are just going to get into the last coin, which is ONDO. So we have said about ONDO, once we break the white trend line to the downside, and in my opinion was here the breakout, here the retest, I went into a short position. Stop loss right here, into the 97.15 cents. There was a fair value gap, and we went there. So basically I can take this one out, this one too. So this was my profitable trade yesterday. Was kind of fast, kind of good. What I think now is, if we go into the 50 minutes chart, this looks very corrective to me, and we also broke it to the downside. So I don't want to say this is a rising wedge or a bear flag. I don't count it like this, but I wanted to symbolize you with that flag, with that panel, that it is very corrective. A bullish movement to the upside would look like this, that we get a nice push, consolidation, and not step by step to the upside. This is not bullish. Anyway, we broke it to the downside. We are trying to break the white trend line to the downside as well. So if I see a 4-hour candle close lower than, and this is now important, in 4-hour candle close, because this trend line is on the 4-hour chart, lower than $1 and round about 4 cents. If we see there a candle close lower than this, then I would even say we are going to see the 98 cents again. I will also put you here the price mark. At this price level, we have seen support 2 times and 2 times resistance. Here we got rejected 2 times. Here we got support 1 time, and here we also got perfect support 1 time. If we lose that price level, 98.24 cents, then I would even say the chance is high to get into 85.4 cents to 78 cents for ONDO. And this would also work if TAO is going to sell off into 330, 360 US dollar. But the question is, where's going to get Kaspa then? Where's going to get Kaspa? I don't know it yet because I don't see any kind of bearish chart pattern, and we don't have any kind of fair value gaps in that area right here. So the next fair value gap would be at 7.2 cents to 7 cents. I think this is far too low, but it's still possible that we are going to sell off there once the 9.3 cents breaks to the downside, because the other coins are directing us into far lower prices. You can also look about over Render. Render also has a fair value gap right here at $3.40. So once we lose the $3.90, it is possible that we are going to see the $3.40 again. Do I want to short it without having a bearish chart pattern? I don't know, but it can still develop as one. This can still develop as a bigger head and shoulders formatation. But for that, I want to see another push and then sell off. That would be the perfect scenario. If we are a bit unlucky, then this right here can also count as a right shoulder, even though it is not in the similar length of the left shoulder. So I just want to warn you a bit more. We are completely bullish, no question. But also, just because we are bullish, it doesn't mean that we are not going to sell off. People are going to take profits. People are going to get into 100x leverage long positions, and the market makers see that, and they are going to liquidate them. Because if those long sellers with the high leverage get liquidated from the market makers are going to take their money out of their pocket into their pocket. They know how the game works. In my opinion, the charts are not developing because of us trading, like our $10,000, our 100,000 US dollars. Even if you put 1 million US dollars into Bitcoin, it's not going to move the chart. There are different kind of players who are, I don't want to say fighting each other, but they are trying to get their money out of the pocket from the other person. And there are multi-billion companies trying to fight each other, even multi-trillion companies trying to fight each other. And we are in the middle of that, and we have to do the best of it. So basically, we have to be careful. I don't know what those people are going to think, because everyone is currently bullish. And what usually happens is that normal people, like us, for example, but now think about those who don't have any kind of knowledge about how the stock exchange or crypto exchange work. People who are ready to buy Bitcoin at 125,000 US dollar. Imagine those people. Don't you think that they are just going to get used as exit liquidity from the smart people? It's usually like that. So if everyone is too bullish and puts their money into it, why that? Because people who don't have any kind of knowledge are just pushing their savings into the cryptos. They buy cryptos, but they have to buy it from someone who sells it. And who's going to sell it? Most likely the people who bought it far earlier and are huge in profits and want to use it as exit liquidity before it's too late. Yeah. So basically, this is usually what is happening when we are too bullish. It is not a big deal. The price is going to get, I don't want to say a crash, but a correction, small crash of 10, 20, 30% are possible. In the crypto space, that's a small crash. So those dips are going to get bought from the big guys again, because they're going to sell high and try to buy it low again. And then the market is far higher than before the crash. This is usually what happens while we are too bullish. And yeah, we have to see. We have to see. So far, I have gave you some key levels. If they hold, if they break to the upside or downside, it is possible to trade them. I will still look for the setup. I want to see my breakout inclusively a retest. If I see the retest, then I'm going to enter a trade. And yeah, with that, I want to release you into your nice day, and we see each other tomorrow. And I also want to start with some stocks. So on your right side, now you can't see it really. I want to talk about Canopy Growth tomorrow, Tilray, Mind Medicine, and Aurora Cannabis. So tomorrow I want to talk about cannabis. Why that? Because we have seen some political momentum in the wheat market. So basically, that's what I want to do tomorrow. And I also want to talk about stocks in the next days, because I think there are good opportunities soon for some stocks. See you then.